Hi, it's me, Kathy, Mike. We're Better Late Than Never RV Adventures, and we're here again to try to put out another video.
Yeah, I've had to get used to this new format, and I'm still struggling with it. But we're going to try to do another one. So this also is going to be about Yellowstone visits. There's more than one visit in this. Several different sites in the Yellowstone area.
Yeah,
So
we got to get caught up.
yeah, so but also in this one is a hike that I did to Majestic Falls, which is over around Prismatic Springs area. But so this is kind of a montage we're going to make out of this video. So uh, we also kind of want to talk a little bit about that. We're work camping here in West Yellowstone at the Mountainside KOA.
He is.
I am.
I'm just
And,
hanging out.
and this is a really nice KOA. There's another KOA down the road closer to West Yellowstone. It's called the Holiday, which is kind of more like a stay in the resort type place. It's got pool and all that kind of stuff. This
Bike rentals and all that kind of stuff, extra curricular activities on site at the campground.
right, and this particular KOA is getting a large remodel over the next couple of years. We're adding 100 sites to this KOA. It's Mountainside KOA. Also, a new restaurant and a new office and general store, a swimming pool. So this one's bumping up quite a bit over the next couple of years, and I get to be involved in that. We do plan on coming back here next year because there's no way we can see all the stuff around here in one season. It's just not possible. So,
It's too beautiful to only spend one summer here.
yeah, we've not been disappointed one day. Um, so you want to talk about the flood?
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about the flood. Um, everyone relies on the news media to get their information about things that aren't just quite local. And the news media sensationalized the flooding um, quite a bit, considerably, I would say. A lot of what they focused on their videos and their reporting was actually in Gardner, Montana, which most of the devastation in that area, although some of it impacted the park, most of it was in the community itself. And yet the reporting led everyone to believe that Yellowstone was demolished.
Yeah, that was the thing that it kind of got to us a little bit. I mean, the north entrance to Gardner and the northeast entrance of Yellowstone were the only entrances that were impacted a great deal
To the point of closure.
to the point of closure. They did close the park mostly because of the water filtration system. They had to make sure it was good because there was high water in Yellowstone. There was a lot of debris around and that type of thing. But the Park Service did
They did a
a
phenomenal
phenomenal job. They had the park opened up on the south entrance or the south side of the loop
in a week.
in a week. A week later, during that week, of course, they implemented the license plate odd and even, uh, which turned out to be not necessary, and we'll get into that in just a second. But then a week later, they opened the north entrance. 95% of the park was open in 2 weeks. It,
Not the entrance, but the loop.
yeah, the
The
north.
north entrances are still closed at this time.
Right. That's true. That's true. Yeah, but the north loop of the park, which is basically Fort Yellowstone,
Mammoth Hot
Mammoth Hot
Springs,
Springs, and so on. All of that. So
Tower,
and the
Roosevelt.
river and all this stuff was all open back up, except for those two entrances within a couple of weeks. And but if you watch the news anywhere that wasn't around here, you probably thought Yellowstone wasn't ever going to open back up again, or at least it was going to be several years.
Or that this year was a bust,
Yeah.
which it wasn't. And the fact that that was the way it was presented, it really impacted the people of West Yellowstone, and I'm sure the other communities that are relying on this
Tourist industry.
3 or 4 month period of time when the tourist industry is their livelihood for the entire year. Because here in a couple months, the temperature will drop approximately 100 degrees, And it'll be frigid cold,
and lots of
deep,
snow.
deep, deep snow, and basically the 1,000 residents of West Yellowstone will be the only ones that will remain. And the 12,000 daily tourists that come through during the season is what creates their livelihood. And the fact that the recovery efforts were so dramatic and so rapid, it really wasn't publicized, and these people may have in many cases actually lost their businesses because they won't be able to survive this season. And that's very sad.
The KOA that we're working at and the other one, they're going to survive. They're a bigger company, and while the revenues and stuff are way down, they'll be back next year. Some small businesses will not survive in West Yellowstone and even in surrounding areas. Even you look outside the lower east entrance to Cody, and everybody was affected by
Jackson
this.
Hole and all of that. Yeah.
It was all affected by this news, and I think the thing that upset and I know news does what they do, and they're trying to make sure more people watch. The only thing I had a problem with, besides the fact that the films and everything you saw were things that really only barely affected the park for a short amount of time.
Well, we're tagged as West Yellowstone devastation.
Yellowstone National Park devastation. As we said, within a week and then another week, the entire Loop 8 of the park and all its amenities were back open. But I'm sure if you don't live around here, you had no idea that even happened because nobody ever said anything about it. The report was what happened that was bad. The recovery and how quick it happened, and that the park was back open.
It was way underreported.
We never saw any national reports that actually said anything about it, and that's the part that will hurt the people that live here.
And the people that I know that we know that work in reservations have told us that even the people that called to cancel their reservations in late July and August and beyond, they didn't even believe the reservationists when they told them, hey, everything's great, everything's fine, you can fully enjoy the park and all that. They really didn't even believe it.
They were assuming that they just were trying to protect the reservation, which they were, but it was by telling the truth, which no one else had mentioned really. And I guess maybe that sounds really like a negative Nelly thing, but it did kind of bother me because we've been here since May, and we see how important it is to the people that live here. That you don't all you hear all the good stuff, you don't hear the bad stuff, or I mean opposite way. You hear all the bad stuff, you don't hear the good stuff.
It's just like Kentucky is not washed away right now.
Yeah, that's where we're from originally. And if you heard the news out here, Kentucky's gone, Missouri's gone.
Texas is burnt up.
Texas is burnt up, and now California's burnt up, and you would swear that they're never going to be there again because they don't go back and say, well, this is how bad it was, and this is the recovery, and so on and so forth. And that's the only reason we're mentioning this. We don't really want to get into this any more than that, but it's kind of sad to see how it affects the people that live here.
It is.
But anyway, this video is about some more scenery and stuff that we've done in Yellowstone.
Some hikes that Mike has taken.
Yeah, a hike that I took this time to a place called Mystic Falls. Very beautiful hike, very enjoyable, and from the top you see it's really pretty from the top.
You just didn't have to wait and see.
Yeah. But we appreciate you looking at these videos. We hope they're not too long. I hope they're not too boring. We have fun doing them. I'm still struggling with the software, but it'll get better. So just hang in with me. We appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Enjoy.
Well, first hike in Yellowstone. I'm on the Biscuit Basin trailhead headed to Mystic Falls. I think it's about a 3.5-4 mile hike. We'll see how this trail looks really good. So looks like it's going to be a a nice easy climb. It only goes up about 400 feet, so not going to wear me out for sure. It's just going to remind me what it's like to hike. It's been a while. So anyway, I'll talk to you later when I get a little farther. Mystic Falls. Leads down to this stream down here. It's a pretty nice place. We enjoyed it. Wasn't a tough hike. It's marked really well. Didn't see any animals except on the way into, except for the mosquitoes. They're bigger than me. But anyway, this is a nice hike. I think it's, like I said, it was probably, it says like 3.5 miles or so, but it's more like 4.5, especially if you take any side trips to see things. So, but anyway, this is the first trip in Yellowstone. I love everywhere you go, there's rapids, waterfalls, there's running water, and for at least another month, giant mosquitoes. So, but I thought I'd make this little video since I haven't done one in a while. I'm going to try to see if I can get my new system that produces the videos to work right on a laptop. I still haven't figured it all out yet. It does it a lot different than the one I had on my phone. So anyway, I hope you enjoy this, and I'll see you on the next one, hopefully next week.